Regarding Truffle, we can say Web3 and the decentralized web have brought about many possibilities in web development, making tools like the Truffle Suite important for developers who want to stay up to date with the latest developments. As Web3 lacks middleware and developer tools, while Web2 developers have plenty of them, the Truffle Suite was created to meet the needs of smart contract developers and is now one of the most comprehensive ecosystems for decentralized application development. With the Truffle Suite, developers can create complex smart contracts, gain an advantage in the rapidly evolving field of Web3 development, and improve accessibility throughout the development process. So the Truffle Suite comprises three components: Truffle, Ganache, and Drizzle. Truffle is a smart contract development framework that allows developers to write, test, and deploy smart contracts. Ganache enables developers to create a personal Ethereum blockchain for testing and development on a local network, while Drizzle serves as a repository of pre-built components and an essential tool in developing dApp user interfaces. Together, these components form a powerful suite for tools for dApp developers in creating and managing smart contracts on the Ethereum or Conflux or any other blockchain. The first component that we'll talk about is Truffle. Truffle is widely recognized as the most comprehensive tool for smart contract development, serving as a top-tier development environment, asset pipeline, and testing framework for blockchain applications. Its popularity as the primary choice for dApp development has created a massive community of supporters. It is worth noting that Truffle employs the EVM, which enables developers to create flexible and straightforward smart contracts. Truffle's feature-rich development environment includes built-in capabilities for the compilation, integration, and deployment of smart contracts, as well as binary management features. Additionally, it offers an automated contract testing facility, which accelerates development time. Truffle's deployment script support makes it easy for developers to create adaptable applications that can be evolved over time, thanks to the extensible deployment and migrations framework. Truffle's network management features are also noteworthy, allowing developers to deploy applications to any number of private and public networks. This frees up developers to focus on their application development projects rather than network management. The interactive console is another standout feature of the Truffle development framework, facilitating direct contract communication and making development more efficient. The next component is Ganache. Ganache is a critical tool in the Truffle blockchain development suite that allows developers to create a personal, local blockchain network. This tool offers significant benefits to developers in all phases of the development process, improving the usability of the Truffle Suite. Without Ganache, the Truffle Suite would be incomplete, as it provides support throughout the development cycle. Ganache comes in two versions: Ganache UI, a desktop application that supports Ethereum and Corda blockchain technology, and Ganache CLI, previously known as Test RPC, which is an ideal choice for Ethereum development. Both versions are compatible with Windows, Linux, and Mac systems. The importance of a local blockchain in the process of developing smart contracts is a crucial question that Ganache can answer. The advantages of a local blockchain include cost and time savings. By using a local blockchain, developers can significantly save on gas fees for uploading contracts on the main network. The local blockchain with Ganache can help in deploying smart contracts instantly, offering promising benefits in terms of time and money savings. It's an essential tool for developers using the Truffle Suite, as it enables the value advantages of a local blockchain. And the last component of the Truffle Suite is Drizzle, a collection of front-end libraries aimed to improve the predictability and ease of scripting dApp front-ends. Drizzle's foundational component is a Redux store, which endows developers with a pliable channel to the various functional development tools connected to Redux. With Drizzle, developers can conveniently synchronize contract data, transaction data, and other consequential variables. Moreover, Drizzle's modular design enables the effortless incorporation for deletion of features that are not required in the application. And the core package Drizzle helps in administrating the contract and account setup process, while the base package in Drizzle furnishes further contract features. When delving into the primary characteristics of Drizzle in a Truffle tutorial, a few noteworthy highlights should be considered. First and foremost, the Redux store is the foremost feature that provides a responsive data store that is capable of managing the synchronization of transactions and other functionalities within Drizzle. Additionally, Drizzle maintains an array of diverse React components that can be utilized to achieve different dApp functionalities. This library of React components is an essential highlight of Truffle smart contract development. Another notable aspect of Drizzle is its capacity to expand Web3 contracts and offer access to underlying properties and methods from documentation. With Drizzle, developers can take advantage of completely reactive contract data, such as state, transactions, and events. Furthermore, Drizzle's declarative nature on the Truffle blockchain saves developers both time and resources by eliminating repetitive or redundant data. And lastly, Drizzle facilitates simpler access to underlying functionality and offers safeguards for Web3 contract and contract methods. It is recommended to set up a local chain for testing purposes, as was mentioned earlier. Once the contract's functionality is confirmed, it can be deployed on the live chain. Ganache is a local blockchain that can be downloaded and installed from this link. It is designed to run on localhost and is pre-installed on all computers, making it a convenient option. Basically, you could simply just use this link to download it and install Ganache. Next, we're going to talk about installing Node.js to enable the full range of development functionalities within Truffle blockchain ecosystem. It is essential to obtain the appropriate libraries for Node.js. These libraries provide a solid foundation for building and interacting with the smart contracts on the blockchain network. To install the latest version of npm, you could run this command here, npm i-g npm. Node Package Manager, or npm, recommends installing Node.js and npm with a Node Version Manager to avoid permission errors when installing globally. To do so, you could basically go to this link and follow the instructions there to make sure that there wouldn't be any issues. On the other hand, Truffle requires Node.js for compiling native add-on modules for Node.js. Truffle recommends installing the following Node.js to avoid errors when installing Truffle. So you could also see those instructions regarding them in the same link provided. You can use nvm to install a compatible version of Node.js. For example, to install Node.js version 18 on OS X or Linux, you can run nvm install 18. To confirm that Node.js has been installed correctly, you could simply run node -- version. You need to also install web3.js. It serves as a JavaScript library that facilitates communication with the Ethereum blockchain by utilizing JavaScript. This versatile library features a variety of built-in functions that developers can leverage for development purposes, enabling greater flexibility and efficiency in smart contract development. You can install the package either using npm or yarn. To use npm, you could run this command here, npm install web3, and to use yarn, you could run this one, yarn add web. After installing those prerequisites, you need to install Truffle itself. The global installation of Truffle is accomplished using npm through a terminal with this command here, npm install truffle-g. The official documentation for Truffle strongly recommends the use of a node version manager such as nvm in conjunction with npm. Additionally, one must refrain from using sudo while installing Truffle, as it may cause permission errors in certain situations, but you need to be careful with that. You could also go to this repo here and follow the instructions there if you need to do your own modifications to the Truffle source code. After installing the prerequisites, you probably need to start with creating your own project. To run most Truffle commands, you need to have an existing Truffle project. To create one, you can use the Truffle init command for a bare project, or you could use Truffle boxes, which provide example applications and templates. For beginners, the MetaCoin box is a good starting point, as it creates a token that can be transferred between accounts, although note that it is not ERC20 compatible. To download the MetaCoin box, use the Truffle unbox MetaCoin. As you could see here, you could use this command. Once completed, you'll have a project structure with various directories, including contracts for Solidity contracts, migration for deployment files, and test for test files. You'll also have a Truffle configuration file called truffle.js. Then you could navigate through the project. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the files and directories you could see there. To begin building a Truffle project, we will be using command line interface CLI tools, which can also be executed through Truffle's Visual Studio Code extension. To start, you could open the contracts/metacoin sold file, which contains a smart contract written in Solidity that creates a metacoin token. Note that this contract references another Solidity file, convertlib.sol, in the same directory. Next, you could open migrations/deploy contracts.js file, which contains the deployment script. Then you could open test/test-metacoin.sol file, which is a Solidity test file used to ensure that the contract is working as expected. Additionally, you could open test/metacoin.js file, which is a JavaScript test file that serves a similar purpose to the Solidity test file. Note that while the Metacoin box does not include a TypeScript test file, Truffle tests can also be written in TypeScript. And finally, you could open truffle-config.js file, which is the Truffle configuration file used for setting network information and other project-related settings. While this file is blank, there are built-in defaults that we will be using with a Truffle command. To execute all tests, you can run the command truffle test. Since the development feature is disabled in truffle config.js, this command will create and remove a local test instance by Ganache. If you wish to utilize additional features of Ganache, you may set up a separate instance and specify the port number in the truffle config. Alternatively, you can run each test individually by executing truffle test ./test/test metacoin.sol and truffle test ./test/metacoin.js. These two tests have been conducted under contract with the test description, outlining their intended purposes. If you encountered any issues, consider using Truffle Debugger, and in case of need for just a compile, you can run Truffle Compile. Next thing we'll talk about is Truffle Develop. In order to deploy our smart contracts, it's necessary to establish a connection to a blockchain. Truffle provides a personal blockchain built-in which can be utilized for testing purposes. This blockchain operates solely on your local system and does not interact with the primary network that you're going to deal with later on. To create and interact with this blockchain, you can make use of Truffle Develop. You can begin by running the command Truffle Develop, which will display 10 accounts along with their private keys. They can be used for interacting with the blockchain. Once you're on the Truffle Develop prompt, Truffle commands can be executed by simply omitting the Truffle prefix. For instance, the command Truffle Compile can be run by simply typing compile on the prompt. To deploy your compile contracts to the blockchain, you can make use of the Truffle Migrate command. By default, Truffle Migrate also executes Truffle Compile. Therefore, you can execute Migrate. Executing this command will display the transaction IDs and addresses of your deployed contracts, which are distinct from your own. It also includes a cost summary and provides real-time status updates. If you're planning to deploy your smart contract to networks other than Truffle's built-in blockchain or Ganache, you may find Truffle Dashboard to be a useful tool. With Truffle Dashboard, you could easily deploy, test, and access the console for your smart contracts on alternative networks such as Mainnet or Conflux network. To access Truffle Dashboard, simply call Truffle Dashboard from the command line. Once you're connected to Truffle Dashboard, you can use the --network dashboard option to deploy, test, and run the console on the desired network. This can save you time and effort when you're working with multiple networks, as Truffle Dashboard provides a centralized interface for managing your smart contract development and deployment.